ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Real Talk Rants. I'm your host, Steve Molloy, where you come for a dose of reality. Want to welcome everybody in tonight. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you all. Please hit that like button as you're coming in the building here. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. And if you're on other platforms, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, any of those, come over here. Join us over here on YouTube on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Look for Real Talk Rants and join the chat and with your other fellow Doll fans, and let's just talk about the Dolphins, man. That's what we're here for. Man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. um I am really excited. The season's about to begin here in what, next 12 days, 10, 12 days or so. So I am really excited, looking forward to it. um Now, still have some concerns. The 53-man roster, the initial roster, came out today. I know it's fluid. There's going to be some more probably moves that the Miami Dolphins are going to make. But we'll go over that. Um, but I was there were some surprises. There were some surprises on there today for me. Well, I guess you can call it surprise. I was very surprised that Blake Ferguson was released, especially after we've just got through signing him on a 3-year extension, right? We just got through signing him a contract, so I don't get that. I know I'm assuming that the guy that the undrafted free agent center Andrew Mayer, I believe he's going to be the long snapper, or Liam Eichenberg? I don't know. I mean, that was just weird to me that they let him go. Isukama has been hurt. They released him. Um, Not a big surprise on that end. I figured they probably be releasing him because of his injury history. He just hasn't been able to be consistent on this roster. Uh, Same goes for Chris Brooks. Sorry to see Chris Brooks go. I wanted him to be on this roster. Maybe he'll go back to the practice squad, if he doesn't get poached. He's still injured. He's still on protocol, concussion protocol. So maybe he comes back to the roster. I mean, because that's a guy that we needed as a power back. We don't have that. Hello, Adam. Thanks for joining, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah. I mean, Chris Brooks was the only power back we had on this roster, right? Runs aggressively, big guy. I know a lot of folks are counting on Jalen Wright to be that guy, but is Jalen Wright going to get any? Is he going to get some time? In the regular season? I think he will. Don't know how much or how many snaps he's going to get, but he's not that power back either. If you notice when he ran in the preseason, he wasn't bursting down in the middle of the lines, right? Remember when he got boggled up in the on that play against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he bounced and went around the left side? Well, if he's a power back, he would have bursted right through there. He would have busted right through there, right? But he didn't. He went around. So that tells me he doesn't like running up the middle. And it goes to say, in college, he didn't play against a lot of heavy boxes. He played against a lot of light boxes in college. So he's not accustomed to bursting up through the middle like that, right? He's not a power back. So I like him. I like his potential. I think he's going to be a very good back in this league. But how much time this organization gives him his first year is yet to be determined, right? Achane is our starter. Mostert is our starter. Wilson will probably come in. At some point, he's going to play. And the reason I say that is, going back on history of our running backs, right? The past couple of years. I'm sorry to say, they're gonna one or two of them might get hurt again, right? That's what's been happening the last couple years, right? One or two of our running backs have been hurt, even more. So he'll probably get his opportunity. I'm just excited and happy for him and to see what he looks like in the regular season, right? And when he when the rubber meets the road, man, that's what I want to see how he performs. Patrick Paul, of course, we knew he was going to make the roster. He's the backup to Armstead. He might get to see some action. He might get to see some action this year with the history of Armstead and his injuries, unless they move Kendall Lamb into his spot. Kendall Lamb might be playing swing tackle this year, right? If Jackson or Armstead goes down, he'll probably take one of those positions. But we'll see. Hello, Lo-Fi. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining tonight. Let's see what you had to say here. Lo-Fi. Achan and Mostert, you have to watch snap counts typically to keep them healthy and speed. That's a very good point. That's a very good point you made. You're absolutely right. Both Achan and Mostert are definitely probably going to be on a snap count. So you know what? You might be correct. Maybe Wright plays more than we suspect. We'll see. We'll see. Thank you for that comment. That was a great point. 72 undefeated in the house. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. We need everyone. We see what happens when we put our mediocre quarterback without everyone. Oh, man. Right as a dog. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if he's a dog or not. But, man, Tua's not mediocre. He's average. Sometimes I've been the last couple of years, I've had a rating scale from 1 to 10. And Tua usually plays at he either plays at about an 8.5 to 9 sometimes. But if we can get him to play consistently at a 7, right, which is maybe a little bit above average, I think we'll be fine this year. I think we'll be fine consistently. He's going to have to this year. With the teams that we're playing this year, all right, we're not playing cupcakes this year. We're playing some above average teams, playoff teams, okay? So he's going to have to play at a 7 consistently. But when he plays bad, right? But I wouldn't say he's mediocre. Cap for life. How you doing, brother? The Cap Report. You got anything for us tonight, Cap? The Cap Report is here. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. No, I get you. 72 undefeated. Yeah, talking about meaningful games. No doubt. In those meaningful games, he's going to have to play at about a 9, about an 8.5 or a 9. Absolutely. Totally agree with you. Lo-Fi, what did you say? Tua got paid to be the best player on the field. He got paid to be the guy that makes the difference. Yes, and he should have been making a difference the last 2 years. He should have been making a difference even before he got paid. Now, all of a sudden, he gets paid and he's talking all this crap, right? He's going to call out players and this, that, and the other. Who's going to call him out when he plays miserable in these good teams and defenses? Who's calling him out? Oh, now he's going to call out other people that aren't playing well when he was part of the issue with playing against these good teams? Give me a break. I'm going to tell you something. He better play at an 8 or 9 this year. As much money as he's making, I thought he should have played on his 5th-year option. But now we're stuck with him for another 2 to 3 years. Look, guys, I have hope in him, okay? I have hope in him. I have to, right? We're stuck with him. Okay. Um, but now, who else made the team? Storm Duck made the team. An a rookie, undrafted rookie, we don't know how he's gonna produce, right? If one of those corners go down or defensive backs go down, right? That's a weak link for me. Ethan Bonner, Storm Duck. I think McMorris made the team. Did McMorris make the team? Did McMorris made the team? Do you guys know if he made the team? I can look it up. Let me see if he made the team. But anyway, I, I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions. Let me look this up real quick, guys, and then we'll get back to talking here. I think I had it here somewhere. Let's see if I can find it, and I'll tell you. I don't remember if McMorris made the team or not, but regardless of whether he did or not, he's still a rookie, an undrafted rookie at that. So how much can we count on this guy to come in if Fuller gets hurt, if Jalen Ramsey gets hurt, right? Oh, I wasn't surprised about Nick Needham. I know some folks were. I wasn't surprised because he was hurt all the year before last. He was hurt, right? He was out. And then when he came back, he never looked the same. He never looked the same when he came back. It didn't look like he was at 100%. So that wasn't a surprise to me that they let him go. Let's see on defense. Did Storm Duck make it? We got. Oh yes, no. Storm Duck did make it. Yes, Storm Duck did. Yes, Patrick McMorris, safety. He did make it. So let's just go down the list. Let's just go down the list for. We'll start with offense. We know who number one quarterback is, right? Yeah, 72 undefeated. Man, that's a mystery to me, man. Well, no, it's not a mystery anymore because they said that they knew that he had this procedure done in the offseason. They knew he was hurt, but they still signed him, right? But Greer's cooking. Greer's cooking. They signed frickin' Shaq Barrett and he retired. But Greer's cooking. He's cooking. So Skylar Thompson, I'm glad he made it for a second string quarterback. I think he had a higher ceiling than Mike White did. More potential. He knows the system. He really worked hard in the offseason trying to get the ball out quick and reading defenses. Okay, he said that was what he worked on, and it showed. Now in training camp, I would say they were neck and neck. But this last exhibition game that they played, by far, Skyler was the better quarterback. And you can see his potential. Look, he almost beat the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs, dude. Right? He almost beat the Bills in the playoff game the year before last. We saw the potential that he had. Now, was he great? No, but he's a 7th round pick. 7th rounder. And it was only his third or fourth start. So he's and McDaniel even said himself that he was probably one of the ones that had made the most improvement this offseason. So I hated to see Craycraft put on injured reserve. He's one of our best blocking wide receivers. Let me go over this with you. So we can know quarterback Tua, Skyler backup, running backs, Devon A. Chan, Alan Ingold, fullback, right? Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, and Jalen Wright. All right. Wide receiver, Braxton Berrios, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Malik Washington. Very interesting. Very interesting. That is interesting to me because normally the Dolphins will keep 5 or 6 wide receivers, right? So are they going to go out and sign another wide receiver or two? That's the question. That's the question, because they released Easy E. They released him, right? And he's another one that was injured and couldn't be consistent and on the field. So besides Brooks, that is interesting. And they kept four tight ends. Jalen, Julian Hill, Jono Smith, Durham Smythe, and Tanner Connor. Interesting. Tanner Connor can't block to save the life of him. So I'm thinking, because now this could be this is only a theory, right? This is hypothetical. Maybe they kept Tanner Connor as a tight end to be the fifth receiver, because he's a fast guy. He runs like a 4.40 for he's 6'2", I think, 6'2", 230 something. For a big man, that's rolling, right? So maybe they kept him as the fifth receiver, or maybe they're going to sign to. I don't know. It's just interesting to me. I liked age veteran Ramsey in zone. Not too excited about if he playing man for health reasons. Yeah, I agree. I agree for health reasons, and that goes for the position he's playing in. What the position they put him in this year? He's going to be roving. So can he hold up? Remember, he's been injured. He's had an injury history as well. So can he hold up? That's the question on Jalen Ramsey. I have a question on our cornerbacks. Okay. Our cornerbacks and our defensive backs. Big question marks for me. Offensive line. Terran Armstead. Aaron Brewer. He's missed a bunch of practice. Who knows? Is he going to be ready for the first game of the season? Is Eichenberg going to be our center or Mayer the first game of the season? Lester Cotton, can't believe he made it. Jack Driscoll, Liam Eichenberg, Austin Jackson, Robert Jones, Kendall Lamb, Andrew Meyer, and then, of course, Patrick Paul. So let's see. Excited about our tight ends if Tua will use them. Yeah, that's the question, right? That is the $1 million question. And here's my thing on that. Okay. All right. When Tua was asked about the offensive line, because I know a lot of people are questioning our offensive line, and rightly so, correct? But you know what Tua said, right? Did you see that? When they asked him, he said, I get the ball out fast, brother. Well, you know what that means to me? That means you're going to see more of the same type of system this year that you have the last 2 years. Mike McDaniel is not going to change. Oh, sure, you might see the tight end catch a ball here and there, and the running backs come out and catch a ball here and there, but they did that last year, right? They did that last year as well. So the reason that they got OBJ was he was supposed to be that third option, right? Not really, because if you observe Tua enough on film and watch, he doesn't go through his progressions. It was always that first read, sometimes a second read, right? And that's when he threw it to the running back or the tight end. So whoever that first read is, it could be Waddle, it could be OBJ if he comes back, right? It can be Achane, it can be whomever he throws the ball to. If it's the running back or one of the wide receivers, it's always going to be the first read. Why? Because there's no freaking way you can go through progressions at 2.5 seconds. You can't. Impossible. So this system and scheme is set up to throw the ball quick, get it out quick. So sorry, friends, unless Mike McDaniel runs the ball more, and that's another thing. Raheem Mostert said, We're gonna pound the rock. We're gonna be a physical pounding running team this year. You know what he said 2 years ago? McDaniel's gonna shock the world. Did he shock the world? No. I don't believe a doggone thing he's saying. Because who is going to be that guy that's going to be physical and pound the rock and push that pile when they're 3rd and 1 or 4th and 2 or they're down on the goal line? Who? Tell me. We don't have Brooks anymore, so it ain't him. So I just believe we're going to see more of the same. Tua just said we are playing the same scheme. Hill or Waddle get hurt, we're going to have offensive problems. Bingo. Thank you. Exactly. 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 So OBJ, John O. Smith, Jalen Wright, all these guys that the three new guys that we got in to more weapons for Tua, like he didn't have enough weapons already, right? If we don't utilize them, why did we get them? But that's just me. Here's another point. Also, Tua said that last year they were concentrating and focused on getting Hill 2,000 yards. So what does that tell you, guys? What does that tell you? All right, let's go to the defense. Go back here. Oh, I have it right here. I'm sorry, guys. My bad. Let me pull it up. I have it right here. I forgot I had it. Hold up, and I'll pull up the. Here it is. I hope you all can see that. Let's see if I can. Whoop! There we go. All right. There it is. There it is. Let me take this down. All right. Let me remove this. Hold up, guys. Still learning the ropes here. Let me take this comment down so we can see the screen. Boom. There we go. All right. Now we got it. All right. So, defense. Defensive line. We got Kalis Campbell, Deshaun Hand, Benito Jones, who's still hurt, hasn't practiced for a few days. Brandon Peely, undrafted, although he was on the practice squad last year. I think he might have played a game or two. And then Zach Zeeler. Another question mark on the defense for me, defensive line. Then we have our linebackers. We have Quentin Bell, Jordan Brooks, Mohamed Kamara, rookie. David Long Jr. can't pass coverage to save his life. Emmanuel Ogbah, is he the same Emmanuel Ogbah that played with Brian Flores? Because remember, we let him go. And Fangio didn't think he was a good fit. Okay. Jalen Phillips, is he going to be 100%? Is he going to play the first game? Question. Duke Riley, we know him. We know what he's all about. Mainly a utility guy, special teams player. Chop Robinson gets ran over in the run game. A first round pick, and he's going to be a third down guy. But if Jalen Phillips is hurt, we know Bradley Chubb's not coming back. He may see more action than we suspect. Okay, I'm not feeling very comfortable with the edge rushers. I'm really not. Channing Tindall, really? We had to keep Channing Tindall. I don't know if you watched the when you watch the exhibition game, he was always out of position. Yeah, he had a pile of tackles like 8 yards, 8 yards in front of the line of scrimmage, 8 yards downfield. He had tackles, but he didn't come up and make any. He might have came up and made one play. That was about it. I think he did make one play. I got to give him credit for that. But Channing Tindall, right? Another Fangio didn't have much confidence in. Anthony Walker, he's been hurt, hasn't practiced a lot. Another question. Okay. Now we're going to go to the cornerbacks. Ethan Bonner. Yeah, he caused a fumble in the playoff game. That was a big play. I give him credit for that. But Ethan Bonner, we don't know what he's made of. Well, he hasn't played a full 17 games. He's a rookie and an undrafted one at that. Storm Duck, another undrafted rookie. Okay. Kendall Fuller, Cater Kohu, Syrian Neal. He's not a every down player. He's a special teams guy. That's why he's on here. Yes, he made some plays in the preseason against third teamers and 14-team players. And then we got Jalen Ramsey. So who's going to replace Ramsey if he goes down? Ethan Bonner or Storm Duck? Who? Then our safeties, we have Elijah Campbell, special teams guy. He's a good hitter, probably the hardest hitter besides Poyer, right? Hardest hitter in the safety position we have. Then you got Javon Holland, Marcus May, old guy, played well in the preseason against third teamers. Patrick Morris, another rookie. Another rookie. What are we doing here? And then we got Jake Bailey and, of course, Jason Sanders. And I don't even know who's going to be our long snapper. We got rid of Blake Ferguson. I just mentioned it earlier in the show about him getting cut. And we just gave him a contract. I don't get that. We just gave him a contract. So I don't know what's going on there with him. Maybe they bring him back. I don't know. All right, let me get back to the screen here, guys. All right, so we're back. So that's our 53-man roster initial roster. So I know it's going to be fluid. I'm sure we're going to add and subtract some players in the next week. But yeah, guys, we got a game coming up in 9 or 10 days. And G-Man the Dolphin, how you doing, brother? G-Man, I can always count on you to be a negative Nancy like me. 8-9. Whoa, man. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough this year. I don't know about 8-9, but it's very possible, guys. It really is. Okay. G-Man's not too far off there. It could be that. It could be. Okay. Kohu might be the guy that moves to outside if injury, which is not ideal. Yeah. Yeah. Cater Kohu is overrated. That's my opinion. He's a good tackler, but in coverage, not so good. Not so good. So, yes, I think that would be a problem. Weak in the trenches. Well, did you hear the Tua interview, G-Man? Did you hear that the interview when they asked Tua about the O-line? He says, "I get the ball out quick, brother." They ain't worried about the O-line. This organization, Mike McDaniel has already said that Tua needs more weapons. They ain't worried about the O-line. O-line is fine. If you ever watch him in interviews, he's always says, everybody's great. Everybody's playing great. Everybody's improved. Everybody's doing good. Typical answer. Of course, he's not going to say anything, negative about his team, right? But he just goes overboard when it goes to just blows things out of proportion. Oh, the guy's great. He's doing really well. You know. Anyway, um, let's see. What did 72 undefeated said? Keeping Tyndall, someone has to make the goal. Yeah. Excuse me. I don't understand that. I like the guy that they cut. What was his name? And maybe y'all know in the chat, the linebacker that they let go. What was his name? It'll come to me. Maybe someone in the chat knows. I don't remember his name, but I thought he was better than Tyndall. But anyway, um, we need more weapons because we play a shell game on who the first read going to be that Tua throws to. Yeah, yeah. But there was a point last year, uh, like it was seventh or eighth game of the season. Somebody had put out I don't remember who it was. They put out a stat about first reads, Tua thrown to the first read, and it was high as 80% of the time at one point during the season. 80% of the time. And Tua already said that they were trying to throw to Tyreek to get him that 2,000 yards. So it was very obvious. A blind squirrel could see that. It's very obvious. But until the Dolphins beat a good team on the road, there's nothing to talk about. Wake me up then. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, G man. I agree. We play Jacksonville Jaguars as our first game of the season. Um, Look, I'm going to be very optimistic on the first game of the season. I'm going to be very optimistic. Um, I believe that the Miami Dolphins at home should beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? It should be I'm not going to give you my prediction now, but it should be a score of something like 30 to maybe 30 to 20, right? 30 to 21 or something like that. 30 to 24, you know. Um and the reason why I'm giving Jacksonville 24 points or 20 points or 21 points is because of the defense. All right? First time these guys are playing together, new defensive coordinator. It's going to take a while to gel. Look, normally, history says our offense starts off boom on all eight cylinders, right? Till they get to about the eighth or ninth or 10th game of the season, and then they start dwindling down, right? This year, that ain't going to happen. Okay. This year, we're playing Jacksonville, Buffalo Bills, Seattle Seahawks. Boom, right off the bat. Right off the bat. Okay. We could very well be 1-2 the first three games of the season. And what's bad is after 12 games, those last 6 games of the season, 6 or 7 games of the season, or 5 or 6 games of the season, those are against San Francisco, Jets, Cleveland, Green Bay. I know I'm missing some there. But if we don't start off like we've done in the last couple of years, and we're going down the stretch, and it's and we're at game 12, and we're like 8-3, or 8-3, no 8-4, or we're 7-5, or I would even say 9-3. It's gonna be it's gonna be tough going those last 6 games of the season. If that's the case, if we're like even if we're at 9-3, we're gonna have to win at least what? Let's see, 9, 2. We're gonna have to at least win 2 of those 5 or 6 games, of tough games, playoff caliber teams, with the exception of the Jets. We don't know how the Jets are gonna do. But I think the Jets are gonna be a surprise this year. I really do, as much as I don't like the Jets. Okay. Buffalo, everybody says Buffalo is has declined, right? Uh until we beat Buffalo, Buffalo hasn't declined until we beat them. If we beat them, then maybe we can say Buffalo's declined a little bit. Teeks 3D, how you doing? I haven't seen you here before. Appreciate you, brother or sister. Please hit that like button, everyone. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button or bell, however you want to call it, and share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. So we got 9 watching, so there should be at least nine likes. I'd love more, but at least 9 likes. I see 9 are watching right now. So hopefully, if there's any folks on Facebook or Twitch or Twitter, any of those platforms, please come over here, join the chat, hit that like button, help out the channel so we can grow even more, and we can get those notifications out as soon as the show starts during the evening or even the daytime. Anytime that I start the show fired up, you get those notifications. So make sure we're hitting that like button, guys. What does Teek say? I'm not sure why you're saying that, but anyway. Appreciate you for joining the show tonight. So I'm not going to make any predictions as far as 72 undefeated and G-Man. I'm not going to make any predictions right now on how I see the Miami Dolphins record. I'm not going to say anything right now. I'm going to give it the first game of the season as far as that goes. I'm going to see how they play against Jacksonville and maybe Buffalo, and then I might get a better idea, better feel of how this organization or this team is what direction they're going in. I usually get a good feel around the second or third game. So by that time, you kind of see how they're playing, especially this year, right? We're playing Jacksonville, Bills, and Seattle. Those are going to be in the Seattle game is a road game. Okay. Those are going to be three really tough games right there off the bat. So Eric Riviera, how you doing, brother? How you doing? Let's see who picked in waivers wire. We need a wide receiver. Yeah, that I made a comment about that earlier, Eric. Yeah, and that D line too. I have questions on that D line. Yeah, I was making a comment about the wide receiver group. We only have 4, and it's either they're getting ready to sign maybe 1 or 2 wide receivers because they normally keep 5 or 6, right? Craycraft's on injured reserve. They released Eazy-E. Who else was on? Somebody else was on. Taj Washington. Well, he never got to get to play at all this year, any practice or anything. So we're either going to sign 1 or 2, or we could pick someone up on the waiver wire. So we'll see. Or maybe we go into the season with those 4. And as I stated earlier, we have 4 tight ends now. One of them is Tanner Connor, whom I'm surprised is on the 53-man roster. But the only thing that I can think of is they placed him on the 53 because he's going to be like our 5th receiver. Because he's definitely not a good blocker. right? But he has the speed that McDaniel likes, and we've seen an example of that in the preseason where he's a pretty quick guy and he can catch the ball. So maybe they're going to use him, and it is his second year. I think it's his second or third year in the system here. So he may be ready to make some noise. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, no, I agree. We need another wide receiver unless we're just throwing to Hill. And then Dewey. Yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping. I really am. I'm hoping that Tua, as I said earlier in the season or in the training camp, he was going through his progressions, but then I didn't see anything or hear anything of him doing it anymore after that one or two times that I heard about it. So I'm hoping that he improves in his progressions, but he's already said he gets the ball out fast, and I don't think the system's going to change. So here's the question: if they do slow this down, the offense down a little bit, right? Let's say they do run the ball more, right? And they slow this offense down and get maybe not getting the ball off in 2.5 seconds, maybe 2.8 or 3 seconds, right? Maybe Tua goes through his second and third, read. Is he going to be upright by the time he gets to a second or third read with this offensive line? I'm fine with the offensive line in the system that we have presently. I'm fine with the offensive line with the system that we, currently play with, the scheme. Okay. It should be good to go until we play good teams. Not good teams, but good defenses that have good defensive coordinators. That's when I'm going to be a little concerned. Well, a lot concerned. So that's the question. That's the question. Puts Achan as wide receiver unless we puts Achan at wide. Well, I'm sure they're going to use him a little bit out in the slot or as a receiver. I mean, he did that in the preseason first game, right? I think it was, and he'd been working on his receiving skills in practice and in training camp. So maybe they do, but they did that too. They did that last year as well. Not a lot, but they did. So we'll see. We'll see. Connor and Achan could move to wide receiver. Yeah. They're not going to move Achan to wide receiver. They're not. They're not. That's not his skill set. His skill set is running back. Connor, maybe I can see them moving Connor maybe to receiver. He would be a big receiver, but then there's been big receivers in this league in the NFL. So, and he's got the speed. So I could see him moving. I can see McDaniels moving Connor to wide receiver. As I stated, he might be our fifth receiver right now. He's listed as a tight end, but he might be our fifth receiver. So we'll see. Eric says, 72 undefeated says, Eric, I believe you're right. HN at wide receiver. Nah, I don't see him a wide receiver, man. I just don't. He's a running back. He's never played wide receiver. Okay. It's a total different skill set. It really is. Okay. And that's something you're going to put that on his plate now too, to learn the wide receiver position. It takes a couple years, 2 or 3 years to learn the wide receiver position in the NFL. They're not going to put him at change him from running back to wide receiver. Not at this point. Not when he's played running back all his career in the NFL and college, right? I don't know what he played in high school, but you know what I'm saying. So I doubt if they'll do that. I really do. Hey, I've been wrong before. I'm just my opinion. I don't think they will, but who knows? We'll see. But like I said, man, this Miami Dolphins football team this year is going to have to start off on all 8 cylinders. All right, they're going to have to be they're going to have they're going to have to win out of the 12 games this year starting off. They'll probably have to win at least 9 or 10 of them, right? Because down the stretch, as I said, is going to be very, very challenging for the Miami Dolphins this year. No cakewalk for them this year. Okay. They're not playing against cupcake teams like Carolina, New York Giants, the Raiders, who they're not a cupcake team, but they played us tough. They almost they could have beaten us, right? They played us pretty good. I think at one point they were leading, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see how that goes. But I just wanted to chat it up with you guys tonight, talk a little bit about the roster, give you my takes on it. Did you all have any questions for me? I got about 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. But guys, please don't go anywhere after this show. Uh, right after this show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Fins bandwagon is back on the Fins Talk Sports Network with Evan Posner and Hank. Fins to win. They're going to be on the Fins bandwagon, and they're going to talk about the 53. So you'll get another perspective on the 53-man roster and how they see the season going for the Miami Dolphins. They always have good takes, good guys. I'm sure you'll enjoy them as well. So, what is my grade on the roster? Good question. Now that I've seen the roster with the injuries we have and the 53, I would say this roster is not as good as last year's roster. It's not as good as last year's roster. It's not as good. Last year's roster was a little better. Okay. But if you want to go, say, from that scale from 1 to 10, I would say last year's roster was like a 9, 9.5. This year's roster, in comparison, is about a 7, 7.5. So if that answers your question, that's how I feel. So, um, can even break your grade for offense and defense. Can I break my grade for the offense and defense? You want me to do that? Rate the offense and the defense? Okay. All right. So as a whole, the rosters are probably about a 7.5. I would say the defense right now, until I see something different, is about a 5. And I would say the offense is somewhere between 7.5 to 8, maybe. 7.5 to 8. So that probably averages out to about 7, 7.5. That's how I see it. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season, Eric. It really is. I'm sure it's gonna be another exciting season. I mean, the offense is what it is. It was number one offense at one time last year. I think it stayed that way through most of the season, if not all. And you know, you got the number one wide receiver in the NFL in Tyreek Hill. You got Jalen Waddle, Achane, Mostert, who had 21 touchdowns last year, and Tua Tagovailoa, right? I mean, you take away those 6 games that we lost, right? And Tua Tagovailoa played good, and really good in a lot of them. So I think he's gonna have another good year statistically. Okay. I'm hoping that he improves in when the first read breaks down and he can go off script, move a little bit. I'm not saying run, although He says, or there a lot of folks are saying that, oh, he's going to run this year and all. No, he's not. Okay, he still has an injury history. All right, maybe he might run a little more this year, maybe, but I really don't want to see him running. All I want to see him is to be a little more mobile, rolling out, throwing on the run, moving out of the pocket, and kind of creating something off script. Doesn't necessarily mean he has to run, but run for a first down or few yards or whatnot. Okay. So Werner, yeah, yeah, you could say that, but look, I don't know if this is your first time on the show. Is it Werner? If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, please let me know. I'm sorry if I am. Uh, but there's one thing about this show I'm going to tell you, that I keep it real. I keep it 100%. I give you my honest takes and opinions. I don't sugarcoat anything. Um, if I give you a dose of reality, let's put it that way. My show is based on giving the fans a dose of reality. Because I know there's other podcasters out there that are always feeding you hopium, always giving you the good. And then when it doesn't happen during the year, then you're asking yourself, but, 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 but you said it was going to be okay. You said it was great. You said we were going to do this. We were going to do that. I'm just keeping it real, guys. Okay. Until I see any different, if the Dolphins can change my mind and they can beat these playoff games, go and win a playoff game or get an AFC championship or the Super Bowl, I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. So what'd you say here? Let's see. Vander, I see this team is better than last year with the ads. You tripping. Okay, man, that's your opinion, brother. If that's the way you feel, I respect that. Okay. I'm just giving you my opinion, but okay, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I want the best for this team. I want to see a Super Bowl. I've seen the Miami Dolphins go to 3 Super Bowls or 4 Super Bowls and win 2. I was there in 72 and 73. Okay. And I saw them go in 71 when they played against Dallas. So I've been around a while, but I'm hoping that you get to see it. I don't know how old you are, but if you've never seen a Super Bowl, you know, you've never seen Miami win a Super Bowl, it's the greatest feeling in the world. You feel like you're walking on cloud 9. It's a great feeling. And I want that feeling again for my team and myself. Yeah, I'm being selfish. I want that feeling again, too. Just like all you all out there. I'm sure you all want the same thing. So, Tua arm not strong enough to make big throws on the run like an Allen or Mahomes. He needs to be. Yeah, that's true. He can make some throws. I've seen him making some throws rolling out. Now, where he struggles is throwing outside the numbers. Now, I don't see him rolling out and throwing outside the numbers, no. But I can see him rolling out and making a 10, 15-yard throw, downfield. I can see that. Okay. Tua's a good quarterback. He is. He's a good quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. He just needs to take that next step. He needs to win when the games that count. He hasn't done it in 4 years. And I don't think he is going to do it. My opinion again. My opinion. But if he does, man, I'm on board. I'm on board. That's what I want to see. I want to see. I'm praying. I'm hoping that he does that. I want him to be successful. But anyway, I'm going to take one more comment here. I'm on 0-2 watching Fins and Super Bowl to Redskins and 49ers. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the 49ers. My bad. I forgot about the 49ers. game. But yeah, you're right. I remember that too. But anyway, guys, that's all I have tonight. I really do appreciate you guys joining the show tonight, putting up with me and my takes and my opinion, whether you like it or not. Um, I respect all of you guys and your opinion. I love you guys. I appreciate you for popping in here. I couldn't do this show without you. I really enjoy doing this for you guys. I've been a Dolphin since 1969. I'm passionate about this team, and I've been hurt so many times. I've been hit punched in the face so many times with this team that now, I just keep it real until they change my mind. So, um, what's today? Today's Tuesday. I'm gonna try to have a show. I'll be on Ace Per Head show on Friday with Curtis. If you all haven't seen his show, he has a great show called Ace Per Head with Curtis. He's great. Gives you a good breakdown of the offensive line, and he's just very knowledgeable about all of football. And I don't know if he's going to interview me or if we're just going to talk, Dolphins. But either way, it should be a good show. You can come over there on Friday. I believe it's at 8. I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern time, but I'll check with him on that. Um, so it should be a good show. But anyway, I'll try to have another show here on Saturday afternoon. Just watch out for it. I know I've been telling you guys this that I'm going to have a show this day and that day. Things have popped up. I've been busy. Family emergencies and things like that have popped up, and I haven't been able to do it. But I will definitely try to have another show on Saturday. So appreciate y'all for joining. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out, and don't forget to hit to watch the Fins Bandwagon coming up next on the Fins Talk Sports Network, guys. So it should be a good show with Evan and Hank. So till next time, God bless.